Got about 30 minutes left on this exercise. I'm gonna walk for 30 minutes. So I decided to go live. First and foremost, did y'all see Claressa Shields last night? Claressa Shields is amazing. I know she gets a lot of hate. She's vocal. And even for me, you know, it's kind of tough to, I don't really like people who are too loquacious, but she's earned her right to brag about herself, brag about her accomplishments, and to just basically let the world know that she is here to stay. She's going to continue doing work as the GOAT. But I'll tell you this, no one's going to love you more than you love yourself. So for someone to say Claressa Shields shouldn't be speaking positively about herself, I got to say, hold your horses. Let's stop taking it to the stupid. Claressa Shields should speak positively about herself. There's no one who's gotten a ring with Claressa Shields who's been able to handle Claressa Shields' complete skill set. And when you watch her, you always hear people say there's levels to this, right? There's levels to boxing. But they're always talking about the men and how the men show levels. Earl Spence shows levels. Terrence Crawford shows levels. Floyd Mayweather, even Devin Haney, even the Juan Manuel Marquez's of the past. Guys can show levels when things get tough in that ring. But you look at Claressa Shields, you tell me, throughout that fight, when there seemed to have been moments where Cornejo, right? Or Cornejo, however you pronounce the last name, tried to get a shot off. Claressa Shields, she raised her level and just totally put that heat on Cornejo. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Claressa Shields had a little more pop, Claressa Shields would be right now considered probably one of the best boxers ever, because she outskills everybody, she outspeeds them, she catches them flush. She just doesn't quite have the power. But I tell you what, change those 2-minute rounds to 3-minute rounds, and Claressa Shields would have a 100% KO ratio. Because you can see right around that 1 minute and 30-second mark of those fights, her opponents look discouraged. But they know that bell is coming and that bell saves them. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to any of her opponents. I'm just speaking facts. So Claressa Shields, only way she'll lose is fighting that MMA. So when she goes into the MMA world, that's a totally different skill set. But she still handles her own. She's 1-1, and she was doing damn good in that loss. But you know, the ground game needs some work. But how many people would get in a boxing ring? But shit, how many people would actually go in there and try to do MMA? So stop hating on Claressa Shields, all right? Now, when it comes to them heavyweights, I don't know if you guys realize this, Alexander Usyk, he just made a power move. Now, I've been telling y'all, with those Saudis and Prince Khalid, they're not playing around. They're looking to sign as much talent as possible. They just picked up Alexander Usyk. And let me tell you the uniqueness of that signing. Usyk signed with those guys primarily to make the Tyson Fury fight. At this point, I think we've all concluded that Tyson Fury, he does not want to fight Usyk. Tyson Fury is out here, no kidding, being a greedy belly. He wants all the money. He wants very little risk. But if he's going to fight Usyk, Tyson Fury, what he asked those Saudis for, he asked the Saudis for $120 million. It was reportedly that he was asking for $500 million, but what we found out now is that price point came down to $120 million. Tyson Fury wanted $120 million to fight Usyk. And that to me is ridiculous, if you ask me. But nonetheless, Usyk is over there signing a skill challenge promotion, and they're looking to make more signings. So I'm telling you guys right now, you need to pay attention to what's going on in Saudi Arabia. They have Usyk now, Joshua and Wilder. That's already been set in stone. They're going to fight. It's just Joshua's looking for another fight just to knock the rust off. So they're trying to work that out, and that fight is trying to be worked through skills challenge promotion as well. So Joshua would never, ever sign with another promoter. He's with Eddie Hearn, but they are definitely teaming up with skills challenge promotion. And I think other fighters are going to do the same. The thing with skills challenge promotion, they're all about the fighters, they're all about the fans. Now what they're doing is they're going straight to the fighters. And the fighters don't need to go through a manager. The fighters don't need to go through a promoter unless the fighters choose to. And I think that's outstanding. But you know, the way shit works, everybody wants their money, but they're giving them flat fees. So once they come to that fighter and say, hey, this is for you, the fighter doesn't have to give anything to his manager or his promoter. And that's the piece that I need to understand. How is that going to work now? If I'm promoting you and I'm managing you, but you go over here and work this deal with the Saudis, how is it I don't get a cut of that? Because I'm sure there's some kind of contractual obligations there. But nonetheless, the Saudis are making moves. It's good because fighters get paid. It's bad because these fighters, because now it makes it hard to make fights in the States or anywhere else. If a fighter is watching what's going on in Saudi Arabia, fighters getting paid 10, 15 times more to fight over there than what they would get paid in the States, right? How you gonna possibly try to convince somebody over here to take a fight for 500,000 when over in Saudi they could probably make 5 million? So that's it's sweet to have the Saudis in the mix with the money, but it's bitter at the same time because it makes matchmaking damn near impossible now. Because you got guys like, look at what's going on right now with Wilder in the States. Wilder is supposed to be fighting 3 times a year, right? He said he had like 6 or 7 fights left in him. Wilder had 1 fight since he's come back. He should have probably had 3 already. But he's not fighting because of what? Because of that Saudi money. He's gonna hold tight. Have a blessed day. You do the same, man. You do the same. Wilder's gonna hold tight because Deontay Wilder, he wants to get that 50, 60 million for 1 fight in Saudi Arabia. I don't fault him. I don't fault him at all. But what I'm telling you is going forward, it's just going to be hard to get big name fighters to be active in the States, especially if they can pull a Earl Spence over, if they can pull a Terrence Crawford over, even the Cody Crowleys, even the Bertabiev. If the Saudis can sit there and host fights with the biggest names possible, then they're going to do it. It's going to make matchmaking impossible. And I'm going to tell you right now, Prince Khalid, the CEO for Skills Challenge Promotion, he kicks Amir Abdallah out of his office because Amir Abdallah is bringing fights that Prince Khalid doesn't want to put on. He doesn't want grassroots level fights, and he doesn't want B tier fighters, A minus fighters. He wants the elite guys. And he's like, only bring me those names to make possibly the biggest fights in boxing. So he wants the Earl Spences. He wants the Bivals. He wants the Canelos fighting in Saudi Arabia. But the problem is some of those guys haven't quite committed yet. But I think when they keep waving this money at them, someone's gonna bite. You look at the fact that Usyk just signed over there. Usyk and his promoters aren't dumb. His management team's not dumb. So now they got this working relationship with Skill Challenge Promotion. That's how Usyk's team won that purse bid for Usyk and Dubois. Because they got Skills Challenge Promotion behind them. They got the money behind them. You look at what Frank Warren put up, like 4 million. Somebody else put up like I don't know, 5. These guys come out there with 8 million. Even I was wondering, how the hell did Usyk's team come up with $8 million for a fight between him and Dubois? Like, that's crazy. But then you find out he's got the damn Saudis backing. So again, the money train. So that being said, we'll see what happens. Now, when it comes to Andy Ruiz and these heavyweights, man, Andy Ruiz, he's got a lot going on in his personal life. But let me tell you how things work out. Andy Ruiz may end up getting a shot at Tyson Fury. Yo, what's up, Adams? Andy Ruiz may get a shot at Tyson Fury. Let me tell you how it's going to work out. You know, Andy Ruiz, the facts are coming out now. He went over there and Tyson Fury wanted to make the fight with him. Now, Tyson Fury and Andy Ruiz, they're brothers through Christianity. Nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful thing. Guys want to hook each other up? I think they should. This shit happens all the time. It's called networking and people taking care of people. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. But Andy Ruiz wanted too much money. Not sure if it was 19, 20 million. Bottom line, it was more than what Greedy Belly wanted to give him. But check this out, right? So now Tyson Fury, he wanted to fight AJ because he knows he can make a lot of money. AJ turned him down. He wanted to fight Usyk. Usyk turned him down because Usyk's fighting Dubois. Tyson Fury can't fight Ruiz, right? He didn't want to fight Ruiz because of Ruiz's financial demands. So now there's Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez is a good name, but Frank Sanchez doesn't bring money to the table. Tyson Fury's pissed off. But guess what? The damn secret society and Mauricio Suleiman's looking to do. You got to understand, Mauricio Suleiman's from Mexico. And Andy Ruiz is the first you know, Mexican American, whatever you want to call him, heavyweight champion, right? And he was unified. They're looking to make Andy Ruiz the mandatory for the WBC because Joshua and Wilder are busy. That's the 1 and 2, I believe. Then the number 1 is, I think, Wilder, 2 is Ruiz, 3 is Joshua, 4 is Frank Sanchez. So Frank Sanchez, nobody wants to see that fight. AJ and Wilder are busy. That leaves Ruiz. It looks like he's going to become the mandatory. Now, the thing about it, Ruiz becomes the mandatory to Tyson Fury. So that fight has to happen now, or Tyson Fury gets stripped. But the problem with it, it's good for Ruiz because he gets the fight, but it's bad because now he has to take the split based on Fury being the champion. And I think that's like 70-30 or 75-25. Where had he just went out there with Tyson Fury and maybe just took a flat rate of 5 million, 4 million, Andy Ruiz could have probably made more money. Makes sense, yeah. That's what they're talking about, man. So he could have made more money. But you know, I understand everybody wants to get paid, man. You know what I'm saying? Ruiz asked for 20 million apparently, and Fury backed out. Yeah, they said, I watched the video this morning, they were talking about it. Ruiz said he didn't ask for that much, but the Saudis, and I don't think the Saudis are gonna lie, the Saudis said that it was like 19 or 20 million. So Andy Ruiz asked for a lot of money. But the thing about Andy Ruiz asking for that kind of money, right? If you want to ask for a fight, if you say you want to get paid handsomely, nothing wrong with that. But 19, 20 million, Andy Ruiz? I mean, come on. He could only ride that wave, the Anthony Joshua wave, for so long. You know what I mean? He beat Joshua. He made about, I don't know, 5-6 million. In the rematch, he made like, 10 to 15 million. But then after that, he lost the rematch. He came in, inflated. Then he goes on, almost loses to Chris Arreola. You know what I'm saying? Right. He almost loses to Arreola. Then he gets in there with Luis Ortiz, the Cuban Cadillac with 400,000 miles on him. And he had some good moments, but Luis Ortiz was giving him the business too. Had that fight gone another 2 rounds, Andy Ruiz would have lost. So Andy Ruiz, if anything, his profile has suffered since the Anthony Joshua loss. He wasn't able to continue with that momentum. And he surely hasn't done anything that would have earned him a payday of goddamn anything more than, to me, than 1.5 million. All Ortiz with no punch resistance and tomato can Areola. That's right, Adams, man. All Ortiz out here and that's the thing about Ortiz. I feel bad for him because Luis Ortiz was a bad boy, man. Luis Ortiz was a monster. You look at him in the last 10 years, got those Wilder fights, but nobody really wanted to give him a chance. What's going on, Eric? What's going on, champ? Nobody wanted to give him a chance, man. And I think that's unfortunate. So you look at him now, he's been in some tough fights, got banged up by Wilder. And that's a fact that Luis Ortiz, his punch resistance isn't the same. It really is not the same. I mean, when he fought Frank Martin, he went down. And I was surprised, not Frank Martin, what was his name? Charles Martin. He fought Charles Martin and he went down. And I was surprised. I said, damn, the old Cuban Cadillac, he need to get his oil changed. And then he goes and he fights Andy Ruiz and he goes down. And I'm like, yeah, he's, how you doing?
Hello.
All right. I'm like, yeah, his punch resistance is all messed up. Wilder messed him up. He had all the tools to beat AJ if the zone didn't scam him. They knew Ortiz would beat AJ and protected AJ as much as they could. Let me tell you something. Luis Ortiz, at that time, I think he would have beat him. Still got to give AJ a chance because AJ, especially that AJ, was very aggressive, and we know he's strong as hell. But the problem with that, I still can't understand. Like you guys tell me, you get a chance to fight for one title, but then you get a chance. It's one thing to get a chance to fight for one title, but you get a chance to fight for 3 titles, man. And your team, instead of saying, you know what, let's just take this 5 million, y'all gonna come out here and be greedy and ask for another 3, 4, 5 on top and lose the opportunity. That's crazy to me. Not good to be asking for so much with not a lot of work. Facts, yeah, of course. Absolutely. But when you get an opportunity presented to you, you just take it, man. Don't go back and forth, because that's Luis Ortiz lost that opportunity against AJ, man. Just being dumb, man. You know, it was his team. It wasn't him. He wanted to fight. His team messed that up. Now you look at Andy Ruiz. The same reason why he got the fight with AJ is because of Ortiz's team being greedy. Now Andy Ruiz comes, he's being greedy, and he misses the opportunity. But they're definitely not going to give Ortiz that fight. They're looking to fight Dillian White now. So that's the move for AJ and his team. They've made an offer to Dillian White. They're looking to fight Dillian White in August. Do that one in the UK in an arena. And that's going to be a huge fight, man. But at the end of the day, even with AJ, in my opinion, AJ is he's struggling from like confusion. You know, he doesn't know whether to be a lion or to sit there, man. Well, he's a lion, but he doesn't know if he wants to be a carnivore or herbivore. He's that lion in the jungle that's over there trying to eat grass and shit, instead of attacking them gazelles and those little antelopes and eating meat, you know? He's confused. But even this confused AJ that's in between styles, in between trainers, I think he'll get in there and he'll tranquilize Dillian White. I don't think Dillian White stands a chance against AJ. But, you know, they want their money. It says right here, yeah, when all opportunities, you gotta take them. Absolutely. What's a good example of somebody taking advantage? It's Devin Haney. Don't get me wrong. Devin Haney and Kambosos, he probably felt, you know what? I can beat him, because when Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney and his team were jumping up, celebrating. There's a video of that, because they knew, well, they felt Kambosos was an easier fight than Teofimo Lopez. So they jumped up and celebrated. But long story short, you gotta sometimes take a deal that's not so sweet and make it sweet. You know what I'm saying? What they say, when life give you lemons, make lemonade, the man made lemonade. People like to say the competition AJ fought was better than Wilder. I agree, but it clearly didn't matter when these guys are both in the same division. What's going on, Motor Men Boxing? No, I agree with you on that, man. But my thing is with Deontay Wilder. I looked at everyone he's fought, especially like his last 20 opponents. They're recognizable names. So I don't know why he gets such a hard time. I understand with AJ. And the other thing with AJ, yeah, he did fight some bigger names. But at the end of the day, AJ had the money behind him. Had the Zone, had Eddie Hearn. They were paying guys unheard of amounts of money. If Deontay Wilder had that kind of money to put up for opponents, Deontay Wilder would have probably had some of those big names too. But just to be fair to Joshua and Wilder and be real, Wilder, I think, was still kind of in the developmental stage. Knew he had the big right hand. So he was still developing. People were afraid to fight him. And then the money wasn't quite there yet. But you see now what Deontay Wilder is, it took the Tyson Fury fight to get Wilder to make real money. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what kind of money Wilder made against Helenius. We could sit here and talk boxing and talk money, and I'm not trying to jump in anyone's pocket, but hell, how much money did Deontay Wilder make for Helenius? Now I'm being told Deontay Wilder gets guarantees, so somebody said he was guaranteed 20 million and he made 20 million. But I just don't believe that, because that fight didn't do as well as they hoped for. So I just don't think any promoter is in the sport of boxing or any sport to lose money. So they just can't make me believe Deontay Wilder got paid 20 million, even though the fight didn't generate with LiveGate and pay-per-view sales. It didn't generate not even like 8 million. You know what I mean? So that's a $12 million difference. You want me to believe Espinoza was okay with just accepting that? You know, I just don't believe that, man, not at all. But going forward, we're going to see what develops. But I can tell you what, Oscar De La Hoya is up to something because he's a big fight coming up this weekend with Derevinchenko and Munguia. But Oscar De La Hoya, he's trying his best to hold on to Ryan Garcia because Ryan Garcia is 1 foot out the door. I'm telling you. Says it's a shame Wilder would have been more respect fighting White than Ortiz when we all know White can't hold a candle to King Kong. Hell no, not at all. Chinchilla says, dig the shirt. Yeah, man, rush the fire. You know what time it is. Kell Brook wants and knock him out cold. Oh yeah, for pushing him while he was doing the interview. Conor Ben says he should be at home. Son's calling me. Yeah, Conor Ben and Kell Brook. That's a good scrap, man. I saw the little you know what the hell was wrong with those guys. But I would like to see Kell Brook and Conor Ben fight. Keeps calling me, man. He's trying to drive me crazy. But that's a real good fight. I actually give Kell win that fight too. But we just have to see if Conor Ben can come back and still look ferocious like he was looking before all the ped issues. Then I don't know, maybe. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. But if he comes back and he doesn't look like a knockout puncher that he was, remember, Manny Pacquiao, his knockout streak ended too. See what he did to Hatton, what he did to all those other opponents. And he gets in there, and all of a sudden, Manny Pacquiao no longer knocking people out. Make you wonder, what is it he's not doing? Because we know Alex Ariza had the Ariza cocktails. And those Ariza cocktails are real. That being said, man, I'm back at the house now. Go inside here and see what these boys want. I'm gonna jump back on here live a little bit later. I just want to get y'all caught up with a little bit of boxing. So busy with the kids being out of school and me doing my exercise and everything else. But he said, coming like after doing them lines. Well, that's true, man. That's what's going to be interesting. How's Kell Brook going to look after, having taking the chill pill, right? Kell Brook was hitting the chill pill, so we got to see how he performs. And then with Conor Ben, him, possibly taking them damn pads. So it's going to definitely be interesting to see. I'm going to run in here, man. Got to take these boys fishing. Y'all keep cool. Motorman Boxing go. He becomes a gatekeeper, man. You know what I'm saying? If he loses, he becomes a gatekeeper. And that's just being real. I think he should leave Liam Smith alone. I don't like the Roy Jones style. It's just not working for him. I think he's ready to go on and become a champion. Remember, his dad said he'll never be a champion. And that's what's probably the saddest thing about it is his dad said that his son would never be a champion. But anyway, man, I'm out of here. I'm about to take these boys fishing. Y'all take care, right? Eat something good. Be safe. Talk to y'all later.